Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to the Board of Health virtual meeting on Thursday, June 22nd, scheduled for 3:30 PM. My name is Thomas Corey. Present with me via Zoom is Michael Coughlin, Dr. Stephen Gagliardi, Tess Curran, our agent of the board, various guests and participants in today's meeting. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Tess, can we have a roll call, please?
Thomas Corey,
Present?
Michael Coughlin,
Present.
Stephen Gagliardi.
Present.
The first item of business is the approval of the minutes of the meeting from Thursday, October 18th. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to be made to the minutes of the meeting as printed?
Move to approve the minutes.
We have a second. All in favor, say it. Well, roll call.
Thomas Corey,
Yes.
Michael Coughlin,
Yes.
Stephen Gagliardi.
Yes.
Next item is the request for a variance for the keeping of chickens and ducks by Stephanie Enlow, 2551 North Main Street, Fall River. Lisa, are you presenting on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Faust was said he was coming in, but evidently not.
Mr. Fiore is a little late.
Well, he told me he was coming. That doesn't mean that.
Okay.
Okay, we've been going to Stephanie's house for quite some time. Stephanie and John Enlow.
Okay.
I did get a letter. Michelle Opera, I don't know if she's here today, but it's protesting. It's
Mm-hmm.
you got a copy of that.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so you have that. You have the abutters.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some issues over there. Minimum housing went there, I guess, because there were people calling the mayor's office that there were roosters over there.
Okay.
How it initially started, I guess. I was out sick, so I didn't go. But when Aline and Faust, I believe, went, they found a problem in the yard. But they also had chickens and roosters and ducks, 2 ducks. So she was issued tickets, that they are, 2 of them are paid. When we checked today, they said 2 of the tickets were paid, totaling, I believe, $300. The one Faust wrote is not paid. That was the $50 ticket, okay? We've had a lot of issues with neighbors calling. One woman down the street she's calling everybody in sight, animal control. I mean, I guess she's involved in the case for Stephanie. Stephanie said she was trying to get rid of the rooster. When I went initially, I was told that there were no roosters. Now, I'm not sure if she didn't know at the time that it was a rooster. She said it wasn't crowing when she got rid of one, and then the other one started crowing. So it's been multiple times we've all been there for different reasons, but I'm talking about the chickens now. This is, she still has a rooster. There is still one there. She has a new chicken that has 4 chicks. I found that today. And then she has another chicken and the 2 ducks. So.
Okay. Stephanie?
Hi, thank you very much. I'd like to clarify, when I was first visited by Mr. Fiore and Elaine, there were 3 chickens on my property. One of them was a Rhode Island red rooster, and I explained to them that I would be rehoming him to a farm in Middleborough. I did so the following week, and in the meantime was working on getting my application in. And once I rehomed the Rhode Island Red rooster, I have a white chicken and a black chicken. There are currently only 2 chickens and 2 ducks. My black chicken did have babies 3 days ago. However, the white rooster just began crowing right after I got rid of the Rhode Island Red. I spoke with Cynthia at Animal Control, and she agreed with me that because the dominant rooster had left the property, that this one probably is now trying to assert his dominance. And Cynthia offered to help hook me up with someone that she knows in the Dighton Animal Shelter to try to see if they could find a home for the rooster. This white rooster that is currently still at my property. I spoke with Cynthia today, and she told me that she was going to give your office a call to clarify that I have been working with her to try to find a home for this rooster. I actually made arrangements with her today to bring this white rooster to Forever Paws first thing tomorrow morning, even though they have not yet found a home. I have, once this one white rooster is gone, remaining at my property is the black hen that's been there all along, that just had chicks 3 days ago, and 2 ducks. The ducks make absolutely no noise. They don't fly. They're not capable of flying. So I will have 1 chicken, 2 ducks, and the little babies that were just born that Ms. Golden saw when she went to my house today. I've tried very hard to be upfront. When I discovered that this other white rooster began crowing, I actually emailed Ms. Golden on May 15th to explain this to her and told her that I just recently recognized that one of these others is a rooster and that I was working on rehoming him. I still am working on rehoming him, and Cynthia is going to take him tomorrow morning, and I'm sure she'll clarify that with you. The original problem with my yard, this neighbor that lives not even in a butter to me called saying that my yard was messy. However, it was March. It had been the winter time. We had a lot of rainstorms. Yes, my yard was a mess. I hadn't done my spring cleanup yet. I have cleaned up my yard. I've relocated the pile of wood that Mr. Fiore and his staff said was a problem. I got rid of that. I've done everything I can to try to follow your procedures and your laws, trying to cooperate with your office. I've had people sitting in front of my house watching. I've had numerous people show up unexpected. I had someone that actually showed up at my place of business yesterday. I'm trying very hard to follow what you're asking me to do. And I'm just asking that you please understand that I'm actively working on this, and I have no intention of having a rooster at my property. I think that's my point. And this is what I've said all along. I've been completely upfront. I only just found out about this hearing 2 days ago because I received an email. I'm trying to do the best I can to follow the laws. I'm a good citizen of the city. I'm a homeowner. I'm a business owner. I founded the Fall River Farm as an artisan's market. I'm a very good citizen, and I'm trying very hard to continue to be a good citizen. And I just ask that you recognize that and please work with me. I do understand the rooster can't be there, and I acknowledge, and I have every intention of bringing him to Forever Paws tomorrow, and I'm sure Cynthia will confirm that for you if she hasn't already. Thank you very much for your time.
Can I clarify something?
Sure.
Faust, Mr. Fiore.
Hi, how are you? So, ma'am, it was me that was sitting in front of your house one day.
Yes.
But that was that we've been getting repeated complaints about a rooster.
Okay.
You may recall that I was there with Ms. Geronimo.
Yes.
And you told us you had 2 roosters. And then we learned, it's been a long time, that 1 rooster was gone. But then you represented to Ms. Golden that you didn't have any more roosters. we still kept getting these complaints about a rooster. So I was sitting in front of your house, seeing if I could hear a rooster, which I did. While you were
Yes.
observing me, the
Yes,
rooster was crowing.
right.
But the reason I went there was that you had represented to us that you had 2 hens left and no roosters. And I had to verify this because the complaint didn't seem credible to me until I went there. So
Mhm.
I was not spying
That
on
white
you for a
chicken, I
second.
was not sure what sex the white chicken has been.
Well, you had
I
told me
only
originally you had
started
2
hearing
roosters.
him crow once I rehomed the Rhode Island Red.
But when Mr. Arno and I were there, when you had all 3 birds, you told us that you had 2 roosters and only 1 left for property. So doing that math, you would still have a rooster based on your claim that you originally had 2 roosters. So I was
Well,
just
I'm s-
verifying all this. It seemed to be conflicting stories that I was hearing. So that I'm just trying to clarify why I was sitting in front of your house. Because
Okay.
you had presented that there were no roosters left, yet someone was hearing a rooster. I
Well,
just-
my email of May 15th to Ms. Golden did say that I recognized that one of the other ones has just started crowing and that I would be rehoming him. And, I spoke with Cynthia multiple times and she's working with me to try to help me to find somewhere for him to go. So he doesn't end up on someone's dinner table.
Is your avenue in Middleborough no longer open to you? Because you told us. you
Well,
could-
because I've brought several, to her in the past, I feel badly, calling this lady and bringing, it's not her problem,
And
and that's why I reached out to Cynthia to see if she could be of help.
Okay, and one other thing, you do have an outstanding fine, the ticket that I
Yes.
wrote and sent to you.
Yep.
You understand you still owe the city $300, unless you want to appeal the ticket. I think it's probably past that time, but.
I actually paid the $300, sir. I
No, no,
spoke
no,
with
not-
Mary at the city hall, at the city clerk's office last week, and she explained that I wrote a check for $310, and I guess my numbers were incorrect. And she said that they would apply the remaining balance of my check toward the other citations that I had received. And if I do still owe $50, I'm happy to pay that, and I will gladly bring a check to City Hall tomorrow.
So that's why we checked our municipal financial system software today. And no amount of the ticket that I issued, Ms. Golden issued 2, I issued 1.
Okay.
And no amount of that has been reduced. There's
Okay.
nothing paid on the ticket that I issued to you. I'm only bringing that up because I perhaps you just didn't realize it, but you still do owe for a ticket.
Okay, I'll clarify that and I'll get a payment out to your office. Like I said, I spoke with Mary in the city clerk's office last week. And she explained that I had paid what I thought was $310, but she said it was actually only 110, and that they would apply the additional amount rather than giving me a refund to the other tickets that you had given me, because I thought I was paying 1, but there actually were 3 there. And she explained that they would apply that money.
Feel
To
free
the
to
other
call me tomorrow and we'll
Sure.
work to straighten that out.
Of course, and I'm happy to pay whatever it is that you say I owe. I'm trying very hard to cooperate.
Michael,
Yeah, Tom, I was going to suggest that we table this and let Ms. Enlow and the inspectional staff work this out and bring it back to our attention at the next meeting. I don't know how the other members feel about it, but we're hearing a lot of back and forth. among
we
the
are hearing a
staff.
lot of back and forth. But Stephanie, I have to remind you of a couple of things. The board always insists no roosters. The rooster's got to be gone tomorrow.
Yes, it will be. I assure
The
you.
board always insists on annual rodent inspections, not annual, monthly rodent inspections. There was no evidence that there was any kind of a contract. So we have to have the contract in place in the next few days,
Okay,
okay?
I thought
And-
that
And we
the
we
office
do,
would notify me of that. I didn't realize that was something
Well,
I had to
that,
do beforehand. So I will
when you-
certainly make
when
some
you-
phone calls.
when you picked up the application, all these things are laid out in the application. And the number of animals we usually set if you ask for 2 chickens and 2 ducks, you're already telling us you have a chicken and 3 chicks. Now, those chicks don't happen, they don't fall from the sky. So the chicks gotta go. Okay, and we do have someone who wrote a letter objecting to our granting of the variance.
Okay,
I'm willing to let it go. No, we'll put it on the table for the month unless there's objection from the committee members. But all these things have to be in place. The fines have to be paid. The rooster gone, 2 chickens, no more than 2 ducks. We want to see evidence of a rodent contract.
okay,
And then we will discuss further your neighbors. Is
yes,
that
sir.
Is that agreeable, gentlemen?
Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay, we put it on the table. I guess we need a motion to make it legal. Michael's motion, Mr. Gagliardo, Steve, Dr. Gagliardo, you second?
Second,
Okay. Sandy, if you put this in the proper wording, and Tess, if you'll give us a roll call.
Thomas Corey,
Yes,
Michael Coughlin,
Yes.
Stephen Gagliardi.
yes,
okay, we'll expect to see you here back next month with all good news.
Could I have the date of that meeting if you don't mind, please?
It hasn't been set yet, but you can check with the office in the morning.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, next we have a keeping of chickens for Mark Falcon, 51 Edgewood Drive in Fall River. Mr. Falcon is with us. Lisa, are you presenting?
Yes, yes. Okay, I have Mark. It says Zachary.
Sorry, it's my son's account for the Zoom.
Okay,
Because of college and schools and stuff.
Okay. 51.
Mr. Falcon, I just want to say this. You're the gentleman with the tractor, the chicken tractor?
Yes,
Okay, I got an education over the last few days looking up chicken tractors and how they work. That's all. Thank you for that.
I have another, yeah, we actually have another animal license holder that has one of those. And it works really nice around the yard. He's had it for a long time.
It looks interesting. It looks like an
Yeah,
interesting
It
concept.
does. The paperwork that was submitted to us. I went to the yard. It's a beautiful yard. Plenty of room for a tractor or traveling chicken. It's nice. It really is nice. So
You know, I spent some time on Google afterwards. You know, they run from about $500 to about $4,000 for these.
really, oh, I
Yes.
believe it.
They're
I believe
rather,
it.
some of them are rather elegant, yes.
So, I didn't know if he wanted to explain further. You know a lot more about it than I do. But all the pictures that you saw in his plot plan, everything is here that you probably looked at and saw. So I didn't know if he wanted to speak.
Mr. Falcon, did you want to say anything?
probably be easier if anybody has questions, so that way I don't just blather on. I mean, I can explain
Okay.
why I took this process, or it's totally up to you.
Okay, well, again, the usual thing, we ask you how many chickens and then we set the number of chickens. If you tell us 2, 4, 6, or 8, you could tell us 30. But once we set the number of chickens, that's the limit on the chickens. There can be no chicks for Easter, no rooster at all. And we will insist upon a monthly rodent inspection contract. And of course, our inspector will go out a couple of times a year to inspect anyway. So how many chickens? Because it doesn't say on your application, maximum
7.
number 5,
7.
7. All right, we're gonna go with 7. And no rooster of any kind,
Not that I know of.
okay? And we insist on a rodent inspection contract.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I contacted C&K Pest Control, I contacted Affordable Wildfire, and then I ended up on the Fly Pest Control. And they're all confused of what I should be getting from them to give to you because when I kind of explained to them that I need a kind of an inspection, I'll call it an inspection, they were kind of, well, do you have rats? And I'm like, no. Do you have skunks? Every now and then. I didn't have anything, so they were all very confused and they were not familiar with the Fall River process. And Brett on the fly was, what form does he need to fill out so that way he can do it properly?
I have, because I have a business and we have food, we're required to have a rodent contract, an inspection contract. I happen to use Flynn, Pest Control out of Rehoboth. I have a standing contract. They come once a month. And even though I don't have mice or rats or ants or anything at this time, they come and look around because I'm also adjacent to a restaurant next door. And they always come in and they just check to make sure we don't have anything. And that's what we all ask all our animal holders to do, because we don't want this to become a problem for the neighborhood.
It's
So
not really a form that they fill out saying monthly that there's no rodents. It's a contract that says they come out to inspect every month. So you just
Yeah.
give us the monthly contract. I mean, the yearly contract saying they're coming out once a month to look. They're not treating, they're just coming out to look. And if there's signs of rodents, they'll recommend appropriate measures. So basically you're going to enter into a yearly contract with them and we just need to see the contract. Correct. It's an inspection contract.
Okay, so because that's what all, and it's funny because C&K actually called two other places and was like, have you ever dealt with this before? And they were all very confused, probably because they just never dealt with the Fall River process. So what did you say it was? A what contract?
Just an inspection contract.
Inspection?
A contract that they, but I mean, I had a yogurt store in Dartmouth and, we had a monthly contract with
Mhm.
Terminix or something like that. I mean, you can pick any company and they just come once a month, they look around, but we don't need a report. We just need to see that you have a contract that someone's coming.
Oh, see, okay. See, all of them were kind of like, what do I report when I go there?
No, yeah.
Yeah, because they're all asking, what's the form? So that way because they were worried about putting their, I guess they all have numbers for them doing their business and what license numbers they have. So they were trying to, so basically I could call the guy back from On the Fly Pest Control, set up a yearly contract and let you guys know.
Yeah, we just need a copy of the contract that says
Yep.
they're going to go out every month and look around.
Now, okay, and you want a monthly inspection. Okay.
I mean, the invoice they give him would be sufficient, right?
Yeah.
If he gets an
Yeah.
invoice for a monthly inspection, that's all we need to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, most likely they're not going to find anything, especially if you have a clean yard. And if they do find something, they'll say, hey, here's how to take care of it. We don't need to know about that. We just need to know they're coming once a month and eyeballing your place.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that clears it up because needless to say, there was a bunch of not knowing what
Yeah.
to do. Well, sorry about that. We didn't know what to do.
That's okay.
Nothing to be sorry about. So, gentlemen, pending the confirmation of the contract,
Motion to approve.
Second,
roll call,
Thomas Corey,
yes?
Michael Coughlin,
yes.
Stephen Gagliardi.
Yes.
Congratulations and good luck.
Good
Oh.
luck.
Thank you very much.
The next item, we have I'm tongue-tied today. Request for variance for the keeping of goats for Alice Contrubus, 1169 Meridian Street, Fall River.
Hi, that's me, Alicia Katrubis.
Alicia.
Oh, Alicia, I'm sorry. Okay, Alicia,
Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
good afternoon. You've heard our story for the last two participants.
I promise I am having no chickens, no roosters, ever.
Okay. And it says in your application, the number of goats is set at 5.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have a rodent contract?
I do not have a rodent contract. I did get the initial inspection done and I
Mhm.
forwarded that to you. I did not realize I also needed a signed monthly contract. I
Mhm.
know you say it's in the paperwork, but I just looked through that paperwork again. And as I showed Lisa, I actually got two different sets of paperwork. One's different on your website to what is actually handed out, and I guess you guys are trying to reconcile that a little bit.
Yes,
But,
yes.
But I can call back. I had whoever it was I had for the pest control, I can call back and get a signed monthly contract for monthly inspections, no trouble.
Okay. Lisa, anything to add?
Didn't you have the inspection?
I had the inspection, they came by and I forwarded that report to you.
Yes.
Yes.
But wouldn't that be good enough? They
I
didn't
think what
find
he's asking
anything.
for is that I actually have the proof, like they were asking for.
Oh, that they're
the
gonna do the monthly contract.
Inspection
Okay.
contract, that I have the
Yes.
Okay.
contract, not, you know,
Not just
Mhm.
that, okay,
that they are coming by and eyeballing it, like Dr. Gagliardi said.
Mhm.
okay.
So are these pygmy goats or full-size goats?
One is a Nubian, so he's a little bit bigger, like German Shepherd size. The other one's a Nigerian dwarf Alpine cross, so they're much smaller. They're all about 50, 60 pounds. And then there's a baby. We just had a baby born, so that's why it got up to number 5.
Aha.
No.
Yeah, so she's got a big yard, so, if everything is in here, you probably, I'm sure you saw all that too. But,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a nice piece of property and good enough for goats. She's got some good, butters.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
You can see my property over my shoulder here.
Yes.
Yep.
I did a lot of work over the last 2 years to this property. I have put in I have just completed putting in a new roof on both my house garage, brand new siding, 22 windows, 5 doors. I put up a 6-foot vinyl privacy fence all around my property, had my land surveyed, trees removed, de-stumped, graded. I've done quite a bit.
It looked very nice on Google Maps. I'll tell you that.
Thank you very much. I love my piece of property. It's my sanctuary.
That's nice.
Born, raised, live in Fall River all my life, work in my local hospital. This is my community. This is where I want to keep my goats. I just plan on having the 5. My daughter has actually had them for about 2 years now. They've been with her at her horse barns, but her most recent barn cannot accommodate the goats. And the place that they were at, unfortunately, there were too many animals. And we feel the oldest, our Nubian, was actually kind of getting bullied and not getting fed. And he lost a significant amount of weight, like 40 pounds. We now currently have them housed at a friend's donkey sanctuary in Middleborough. I don't know if they take that rooster for that other lady, but so that's where they're staying. And while they were there, we, unbeknownst to us, when they were at the previous barn, 2 of our females unfortunately got pregnant. Thank God for Donkey Lady. She's going to keep 2 of the babies that were born, and we will take 1 with us. So, so we will have 4 adult goats, 2 females, 2 males. The males are weathered. That means they've been fixed. So they do not stink. There is no urine odor, no musk odor. They're only kind of noisy twice a day for feed time when they see you come into the corral. They start talking to you. The females are not fixed, but they all are dehorned. The baby is a male, and we do intend on having him debutted and banded so that he becomes a nice weatherling too, and not a billy goat.
Mhm. Very good.
They're all about, just so you know, the ages, we believe, as best as we can figure out, between ages of 4 and 8, and we know they live between 8 and 12, maybe possibly 15 years, just so you know.
Okay. Gentlemen, any other questions?
I think that's good. Probably motion to accept pending the contract.
Mhm.
Second,
Okay, roll call?
Thomas Corey,
Yes?
Michael Coughlin,
yes.
Stephen Gagliardi.
Yes.
Congratulations and good luck with them.
Thank you very
Good luck.
much.
The next item is the director's report.
Sure. Thank you. It's really very similar to last month, but the one update I have is that our epidemiologist has started. She started on the 5th. So we're really excited that she's here. She's making local, connections right now. And as this is part of the shared services grant, is doing, some of the disease investigation for the other communities, and is supporting us as needed, when Deb, who is the public health nurse, is either off or needs, additional support for disease investigation. So she's working out really well, and we're happy that she's here, and are hoping to move forward with potential MOUs, or so we can have more access to local data from community partners and others. So that's a bigger ticket item that she's working on. And we should be getting we hope to be getting additional funding through that same grant, and we may have additional staffing capacity provided we receive those additional funds for the next fiscal year. So that's one of the bigger updates for the grants. In terms of COVID, things have scaled back in terms of our community clinics. We no longer have the community clinics at the library, Health First and at Star. And that's really in partnership with the state. Some of that funding has been rolled back. The expectations and the capacity has been rolled back. So we're encouraging anybody who is in need of a dose or a booster to utilize the pharmacy locations that are still offering the vaccine in the community. And we still have frvax.com available. We're just routing people to the federal site that's now has the listing of all of the available clinics. So those are some of the main updates that we have. And we do have a new team member for the Mass in Motion grant. Sarah Lavoisier, who had been in that position, had resigned. And we have a new team member in that role.
Okay.
I have just a few things. Did you fill the tobacco position yet?
Yes, we have.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer, I think she came to our last meeting, I believe. Jennifer
she?
Doe Textera. Yes, she has been, and she's been, I know it's a crazy time of year. She's been out in the field and has been really, just picked up and ran with it. So she's been a great addition to the department as well. We do not have anybody for the part-time position, so that could be what you were thinking of. We haven't actually posted that position. I was trying to get Jennifer up and running before we moved to hire. Yes.
Well, what's your latest communication with the water department on fluoridation, and just anything at all happening there?
So there has not been an update. So unfortunately, the water at this time continues to be unfluoridated. I know the water department has some concerns in terms of the cost associated with the fluoride. And we're trying to continue to find a vendor and or look for alternatives. And by we, I mean the water department is doing that work. I can certainly follow up with Paul Furland. If you'd like him to come and discuss this at a future board meeting, I'd be happy to invite him if that's a topic that you'd like to add to the agenda.
Well, I would defer to you if you think that would help. I know.
I think I know that I had emailed with Paul regarding the fluoride status last week to check in, and he was hoping to have some information for me this week or next week based on some of the research that his department's doing. So based on that information, I can either add it to the agenda or see where we land with that update.
Okay. How long have we been out without fluoride? It's been
It's been some
a while
time now. I would have to look back because there had been a period back in 2018, 2019, where there was a lapse in fluoridation. Then due to product, then they were able to receive the product. It was a different type of product, but it worked for the feed. So we resumed fluoridation. And then in the midst of COVID with some, supply chain shortages, the product was no longer available. It's according to the water department, we need a particular type of product because some of the other alternatives that they have tried, it doesn't dissolve properly when it's being fed into the system. And so that's part of the problem where there was a supply chain issue. And the particular product that we needed wasn't available, and the alternatives didn't seem to be working according to Paul Ferland.
Been over a year since the
has
water
been.
been unfluoridated.
And there has been a notice that's been put out. I did send a letter to providers, dental offices, and pediatricians' offices, regarding the lack of fluoridation.
All right.
Well, I know you'll keep us informed. I mean, I wonder if we should communicate with the water board that Paul reports to.
I think maybe a little push might help.
Yeah, that's what I have in mind.
Gentle push. So it's not just something on someone's desk.
Communication from the Board of Health to the water board, asking them to expedite this process.
I could certainly do that, and I could certainly ask Mr. Ferland to come for our next meeting.
Yeah.
Why don't we plan for that? I'll invite him to attend our next meeting, so he can provide an update.
Sure, but also if we were to communicate to the board that he's responsible to, in the same way you're responsible to this board, it might also help move things along.
Okay.
I don't know. Tom, is there any precedent for that sort of thing? Have we done that?
No, not in my memory, no.
Yeah. It's just a thought.
Mhm.
I mean, we could try talking to Paul first and see how that goes.
Yeah, why don't we try that?
Okay. I'll plan to have him here for our next meeting.
Did we receive anything under citizens' input?
We did not.
Is there any matter that to come before the board of such a nature that it couldn't make the agenda?
No.
We need to confirm the date for the next meeting. Gentlemen, following our usual procedure, it would be the 20th or the 27th of July. Anyone have vacation plans or adventure plans?
No,
I can't do the 20th. The 27th is better.
27th, good. Michael, the 27th?
sure.
Tess, to 27th?
That works.
All right, let's go with the 27th at 3:30.
Okay.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Can we have a roll call, Tess?
Thomas Corey,
Yes.
Michael Coughlin,
Yes.
Stephen Gagliardi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. Sandy, thank you. Alex, thank you. Everyone have a lovely weekend, even in the rain.
Thank
Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend.
Take care.